A rockin' mom.
Rockin' mom.
Rockin' mom
is any mom who's a hands-on mom.
A rockin' mom
is a lucky mom.
So a rockin' mom
is really someone
A tired mom.
who takes the time to know their children.
Rock and roll is easy. Motherhood is hard.
It's rockin' to me when you can be a mom and still have a job.
It's an ever-changing, growing, moving tree.
I raised my children instinctively.
She's a rockin' grandma now.
Nothing gets in the way of that relationship.
A 24-hour job.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Having children
Knocks everything off the map for me.
Rock music and motherhood don't naturally seem to go hand in hand. But when they do, both mom and the kids are in for quite a ride. The maternal bond is complicated enough, and rockin' moms have even more issues, more questions, and more life-altering decisions to make than one would imagine.
We are young. Heart to heart, we stand.
The 80s were filled with the looks and sounds of rebellious rock, playful pop, and raw sexuality. No one combined all three quite like Pat Benatar. Married to her lead guitarist and producer, Neil Giraldo, this mother of two has 4 Grammys and over a dozen albums to her credit. Next to her family, music is her life.
I loved to sing. As soon as I knew I could, I loved it. And not only that, but anybody who would listen to me, I would sing whether they wanted, if they really wanted a performance or not. And then, of course, I got a little transistor radio and found out about pop music, and, that was it. I was so hooked.
I think what's really significant about Pat Benatar and her biggest contribution in my mind is that her songs were really tough, and she came across really tough but tender at the same time. She made it really clear that you don't want to mess with her, you don't want to get in her way, she's going to do things the way that she wants, and that's the way it's going to be.
You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around. Na, na, na.
I think that the first legitimate hit was Heartbreaker, and it shot up the charts. And back in those days, we didn't have all the communication that we had, and when you were out on the road, sometimes you didn't find out about things that were happening for weeks at a time. You were kind of like out when you were in Idaho, it was hard to stay in touch with people and things like that. And I remember that we didn't know it was actually a hit until way down the line.
Growing up in a musical family has made it all but inevitable that 17-year-old Haley would follow in her mom's footsteps. Her group Glow is the first step in what should prove to be a fruitful career.
I think I had a really great childhood. I was raised pretty much an only child for 9 years, and I went to school like a normal kid and had fun, played, did that. And but I also toured with my mom since I was like 6 months old. So it's a little different than normal people's childhood.
The dynamic that happens when children come into the picture is a whole other thing. Probably the best thing that happens is that all thoughts of self are removed, which is very liberating. Once that happens, it frees you up to be many things. When your priority in life is to take care of another human being and you put yourself second, this is the best thing that happens to you. This is what builds character. This is what enriches your life. I think Neil's biggest problem with me ever is that I don't have enough time to come in there and work. He gets crazy. He's in there, he wakes up, he goes out there, and he's in the studio all day, and I can barely pull together 2 hours when I can go out there and get a free thought. You've got to clear your mind in order to write and perform and do that kind of thing. You've got to have focus. It's really hard to do when you're hands-on raising your kids. So much crap the first time you go, and you bring everything. I even had road cases built for cribs because I didn't want to use the cribs in the hotel. You bring everything. The people that work for you want to kill you because you need like a semi just to bring baby crap. It's 10 o'clock at night. We're leaving at 5:30 in the morning to go to the airport. The little one, Hannah, she's sitting there, I don't feel good. I put a thermometer in her mouth. It like jumps to 104. Now, you know, the babysitter's coming at 5 a.m. What am I doing with her tonight? You know, your stomach, your heart, everything gets ripped out. Your baby is sick. You have to leave him. I'm leaving her in good hands. My parents are here. I know she's going to be taken. That's not the point. The point is I want to be there, and I can't. I did interviews with, I think it was Rolling Stone, and they were asking me how I prepare to go on stage. And they said, how do I get ready? This is how I get ready. I'm in my bus. I'm in the bathroom. It's about, 2 by 3. I'm putting on mascara. Behind me is my 5-year-old going, Mommy, wipe me. This is how I get ready, okay? I think probably the biggest obstacle is the fact that she is our child.
Having a parent that's so well known.
It's like an albatross around her neck, you know what I mean? She just has to every day deal with, oh, you're Haley Geraldo and you're
Pat Benatar's daughter. You know, that kind of thing kind of holding me back. Not holding me back, but just kind of as a label. And like I can't step away from that.
Nobody really enjoys being second. You know what I mean? It's not, when it's your thing, you want to be the focal point. You want it to be about you, and that's how it should be. So I think that's the biggest thing, don't you? That's the biggest pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Maybe one day they'll be saying,
oh, you're Haley Geraldo's mother. I look forward to that day. My husband's job is so easy. This is my husband's job. If he doesn't like what he's wearing, he doesn't say, I don't like what you're wearing. Pull those pants up. He goes to me, talk to her. That's my job, you know what I mean? She's singing this part a little bit, it's not in tune enough, or she's not singing it in the way, I'd like her to sing. He's the producer. He takes me, he goes, talk to her. See if you can get her to sing this a little bit more forceful. I'm like, yo, like you're the producer.
We are young, heartache to heartache.
When you're working together as mother and child, I have to find a way to motivate her or to criticize her for her own benefit and not hurt her feelings.
it's kind of hard working with, your family, because you kind of have to put your family part aside.
They wanted a song. They were, 14 and 15, and the song was Overtime. And it was just about, teenage love, meeting a boy, falling in love, and her heart was working overtime. When we wrote this song, and I had to teach it to them, and I had to, they're crying, and they can't get the part, and I'm like, oh God, you just have to do it. I don't know how to tell you. You just have to figure it out and like put it aside and just do it as a professional. But then I'm like the mother, and I'm like, don't cry, come on, let's get let's have some iced tea or something, that kind of thing. That's why we don't work together. It's too hard for us to work together because, she's my kid.
My parents have been really supportive and really have helped me and my group do a lot of stuff. They've gotten our name out there, they've gotten us shows, and so a lot of times we've been, very much a part of their show or, doing stuff with them.
They all have plenty of advice to share.
Work hard, have fun, and just be a stand-up girl. All I really care about is that they are whole people when they grow up, that they're happy, that they find true love. If you think human beings are cool, you should have one. And then you really know how cool they are. The only thing that you have when your child grows up is respect. Because if they respect the love that you have for them and how much you care for them, they will respect. It's very joyous and it's very hard at the same time. But it's probably the best thing you ever do.